Okay, Megavanen, and welcome back to another trailer reaction. This is one that I'm pretty excited for, and I began watching this, but early on into it, I decided, I stopped it and decided I'm just going to do a trailer reaction to this because I'm a big enough Supernatural fan that I thought that I would just go ahead and do it and maybe, give my brief thoughts. I will say though, my excitement is a little bit diminished that now that I'd seen, a little bit into the trailer. I didn't like how it looks like there's I don't know what to call it, but there's like some unnecessary comedic moments, like too many, that it makes it look almost like a what do you call those? A not a satire, but it just like a joke. There's a better word for it that I can't think of it right now, but you'll see what I mean. So here we go.
All other
Well, see, when Supernatural first began, now I can't remember the year. Was it 2005, 2006? And it lasted 15 seasons, right? So so what year was that exactly? I think it started 2005. Now I can't exactly remember. Maybe 2000. Maybe I'm thinking maybe it's more like 2006, 2007. Sorry, and then it ended like what in? Well, if it ended around the pandemic, around maybe 2020. So maybe, yeah, okay. It might be 2005, 2006. Yeah, and it was dark. At least the first, I want to say at least three, maybe even four, even up to the point when Cass came in. It still maintained that dark element. Then there came a point, of course, where it because you built a rapport with these characters. They understood, the writers understood that the fans of the earlier works, they've been on long enough that they would get the inside jokes, so they were able to throw in things like that, because it got to know their personalities and what their likes and dislikes and stuff. So they're able to put more comedic elements in there, and the fans would get them. I think the general people who just came into it would still somewhat understand, but it wouldn't be as funny unless you've been with the show, like how Dean loves his food, like the Elvis, there's a scene where there's a big ass burger and he was trying to get Sam to eat one, but he doesn't want to eat it. Or how about Sam's like techie side, how he knows certain things like LARPing or Merle, meet in real life, things like that. You get those inner workings, or you get how, how Dean he's unafraid to kind of like be himself and let it be known that he loves looking at like these porno magazines and stuff like that, because. And there's a part with Felicia Day, and it was I think it was called like a LARPing something. It was called something and the LARP. I think it was called. It had like and the LARP. It was the LARPing episode, and one of my personal favorite episodes, where Sam discovered what killed the other person in there, and it was Belladonna. And when he said that, he goes, "Well, I know what killed so and so." Was Belladonna, and both Felicia Day, which is Charlie, and Dean go both in unison say, "The porn star," and then here's Sam, "No, the flower." It's like, like this is what goes through their head, that kind of thing. I love that. So I still didn't mind that they did that, even season 9, 10, and when the mother came in, it's great. But it started to get progressively worse with the, injecting here and there the CW elements, which has this, I can't even explain it, but they not dumb things down, but they just inject this stupid humor, like very similar to what you just seen in here, accidentally punching Mary, and then the accidental punches, and then the comedic dialogue. I just don't like that, and it wasn't quite like that at the early stages. Once it started getting into the last few seasons, I want to say, even last couple seasons, it started to really show. So they quit at the right moment. So like I said, I don't mind that they lightened up a bit, because they still had those darker elements, and they still had those episodes in each of those seasons where they were still pretty dark. And because I was very familiar with the characters, I was okay with the humor. But now with this, it's like they took it like 5 steps further in the wrong direction with that humor, and it doesn't even start off dark. Like, if I was to see this, I wouldn't think the beginning of Supernatural series, the first season, would even begin as dark. I wouldn't be able to correlate those to be I wouldn't see the correlation between those two, just by going by this trailer alone. But it still is fascinating to me, because it is, John Winchester and Mary Winchester. Of course, they're new actors playing the roles, because they're younger, not Samantha Smith as Mary in the original. And of course, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as John Winchester, and they had flashback episodes, and they had episodes where they went back in time and met them. So they saw them when they were young, and they were played by different actors yet again. But of course, that's years ago now. They can't reprise those roles. I thought they did a pretty good job casting the younger version of Mary and John. But I'm looking forward to this, but still a little hesitant on it, because of seeing what I saw in this trailer. And honestly, the thing that's just kind of holding my attention and kind of keeping my excitement for it is because has the Supernatural franchise attached to it. And of course, I love this symbol here. Isn't this the tattoo that they have on their chest to prevent demons from possessing them? I like how it's like, it says now, they do that in Supernatural. Like, first they will show like then, or something like that, and it shows like previous episodes, or what happened in the previous episode or past episodes, and then now, what's taking place in the modern times. But such great memorable episodes in Supernatural. I could just go on and start talking about some of my favorite episodes of the show, but I won't. It's going to just take too long. So I'm going to end it here and just say I'm not super impressed by what I saw in this trailer, and it worries me a little bit. But the thing that's going to hold me over and make me want to still check it out is because it's part of the Supernatural franchise. And I just was really hoping Supernatural was going to get a 16th season and 17th, or even just make it a Netflix exclusive 13 episode thing, picking up from where they left off. I had an idea of where they come back as archangels, and they up the ante that way and take it back to that darker tone of the show. That's another thing too. I thought the demons were a lot more menacing back then, when it was left more like a mystery. There was no mention of heaven. There's mention of it, but you didn't know much about it. They wanted to, I think originally Eric Kripke wanted to keep that as a mystery, and then they started revealing too much, and then it started kind of becoming like a joke. It's kind of like, although not as satirical as it was in Xena, where there was like Archangel Michael and they went to heaven in that show. Great show still, but they a lot of anachronisms, and they mixed a whole bunch of different time periods, and it was absolutely not historically accurate. But then going to heaven and then hell, it started to, that mystery is gone, and there needs to be that kind of mystery where you let your imagination, take it from there, and that's, I'm just going to stop right there. So anyways, that is it. I hope you all enjoyed, and see ya.